Alright guys, so today we're going to take a look at Skullcandy's brand new budget true wireless earbuds. And the pair we're going to check out is the Skullcandy Jib True. Now this is a pair that comes in at $30 and it is definitely on the lower end of the price spectrum when it comes to truly wireless earbuds. In fact, this is the most inexpensive model that Skullcandy offers. So we're going to check out and see some of the features, some of the specs, what you get inside the box, and if it's actually worth the $30 price tag. Now to start with, these do have Bluetooth 5.0, and as far as an IP rating, they come in rated at IPX4. So this is a pair that if you're wearing out and about and they do happen to get splashed on or starts to rain, you're going to be okay. Just make sure that you don't submerge these into water. Now, as far as what you're getting inside the box, you are getting the usual small, medium, and large silicone ear tips. And for some reason, even in 2020, Skullcandy decided to use a micro USB cable. Now that completely baffles me. I thought we were kind of past that, especially when it comes to larger brand names like Skullcandy. So that is definitely something I wish they would have done differently. And speaking of the charging cable, the battery life is pretty decent considering the price tag on these, because on the earbuds themselves, you're going to get around 6 hours, where with the charging case, you can look to get around 22 hours total. Now, there are no fast charge features here. The case is not a Qi wireless charging case, so that's kind of the theme of these. You have to curb a lot of your expectations because of that $30 price tag. And moving over to looking at the case, overall, I like the compact look of these, and I also like the colors. I have the blue model, but they are also available in black. On the back, you can see that micro USB input, and then around on the front, it has a single indicator light so that you can kind of gauge how much battery life is left on the case. Now moving over to checking out the earbuds, they definitely have a smaller size to them compared to some of Skullcandy's other earbuds. They also use button control, and I'm happy to say that they control everything. So you have your play, pause, skipping your tracks forward, going backwards, and even volume control all on the earbuds themselves. So that is definitely a huge plus. Now, one thing I really would have liked to have seen on these that they didn't include, which they've included in some of their other Evo lineups, is the ability to have some of those built-in EQs on the earbuds. You're just getting one sound signature right out of the box, but we'll talk about that a little bit later when we talk about the sound. Now, for you guys that like to use your earbuds individually, you'll be happy to know that you can use either the left or the right. And then as far as the microphones on here, this is one of those things that Skullcandy is definitely not known for when it comes to their truly wireless earbuds, and there's really nothing special on these either. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
All right, guys, so here is the mic test using the Jib True. I think overall it's okay. I don't think it's going to be anything that blows anybody away, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And now here is the mic test with the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public.
So now let's talk about the sound. And before I give my opinion on the sound, I want to be able to play some samples here for you guys to check out so you can hear some of the characteristics of these earbuds. Now definitely keep in mind the price tag. I kind of had to do that with going into these. So here's some samples for you guys to check out here. So now that you guys have heard some of the samples, can talk a little bit about how I feel about the sound. The sound of these, in my opinion, overall is just okay. It's definitely on the warmer side where you can tell that there's a lot of focus on the bass, which is usually completely fine, and for the most part, it's fine depending on what you're listening to. When it comes to mainstream pop or hip hop, everything still comes through pretty clearly, but when you start listening to rock or metal or any genre where there's a lot more going on, the bass can tend to get the sound a little muddy and it just sounds a little more congested. Now these do not have the built-in EQ settings like Skullcandy's Evo lineup, and I really would have liked to have seen that on here. That way you could probably pull out a little more details. Because when it comes to the mids and the treble, especially for a lot of the genres that I listen to, it can kind of sound like it's a little veiled, like it's behind a wall and it's not standing out as much as the bass does. Now as far as the soundstage and the sound imaging, for the most part, it's just okay. It definitely sounds like maybe you're in a medium-sized room, but if you start to listen to genres where there's a lot more going on, that definitely closes into a small-sized room, and it becomes a little bit harder to tell where details are coming from. Now, as far as some of my cons with these, I really only have two. One is definitely the micro USB cable, because there's really no explanation for this. And then the only other thing is I would have liked to have seen some EQ options within the earbuds themselves. That way maybe you could probably fix some of the muddy sound with some of the genres you listen to. But overall, I think for $30, this is going to be a very good pickup. It's going to be a very good option for the holidays, for people looking for truly wireless earbuds that don't want to spend a lot of money, especially for people that's just wanting background type music, or maybe wants to use microphones for Zoom calls like students or whoever that are working from home. If your main focus is music, and if your main type of music is pop or hip hop, you're going to be fine. If you're somebody that listens to a lot of genres, I think at times you're going to be disappointed with these. But overall, for $30, I don't think a lot of people are going to complain. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Skullcandy Jib True. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.